fucking, Jake. Get out of here, Jake. Nah, well, it's only midnight. Halloween. You better fucking be doing something, you asshole. Fucking love you.
Welcome to Parking Lot Drunk with Sean Burke and Christian Senrud.
Yeah, we're already peaking. Here we go. My headphones are broken, just like the system.
It's just like everything in my life.
But two weeks in a row. Hey, look
back.
at us. Look at us. We're professionals. We're working it. We're back. Parking lot drunk.
Back on it.
Hey, how's your week? How's things? How's work? How's the family?
Things are good. It's the final weeks of the Olympics, which is always a fun time to find out that you care about things that you had no idea you gave a shit about.
Yeah. Odd time to feel patriotism, but you know.
It is weird because it's like the people that are winning, like the biggest kind of stories are like figure skating is, for some reason, that's what they push every year. It's like, this is the one that we can get everybody on board.
It is their symbol for whatever reason. Like Carrie Strug. Like I feel like the people you remember most, besides like Michael Phelps, which I guess is Summer Olympics, but like
Yeah.
the characters seem to have come out of the figure skating world.
It definitely lends itself to that 30 Rock story where we're making up events to win medals. But because it seems very, like, as a network, you have to steer it into like a story that everybody can kind of get behind. But it's usually like this kind of inspirational America overcoming odds thing. And now it's like, it seems like the people that the conservative right are super against are the ones winning, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
The world's changing, guys.
I haven't watched
whether
any,
you wanted to or not.
This may be surprising. I haven't watched any figure skating. But
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up.
I've seen like how they react. That Alyssa Liu girl is pretty awesome. She's got raccoon hair. She's got a pierced gum or lip or something. And she's from the Bay, getting everybody hyped. So it's pretty awesome to see how the rest of the mainstream conservative side is embracing her. Like, yeah, America won. Cool. That's great. Neat. Good for you.
What happened to
Bless
our
your
classical
heart.
princesses?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, it is kind of bizarre that she even got into figure skating to begin with, because that doesn't seem like a very pierced gum activity. But
Yeah. And it's also being spun by the left of like, she's the daughter of an immigrant. And she wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for immigrants in this country. So it's like, it's weird how politicized these
Everything
specific Olympics are, where you're like, I see it in hockey and I'm like, yeah, America's winning. Cool. And I was like, I don't want them to.
yeah, this is the least I've ever been. Like, Four Nations, I was getting pretty patriotic. I was like, USA, whatever. But this year, I'm just like, man, fuck the Chichucks. Like, go Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If that makes me unpatriotic, so
It definitely
be it,
makes
but
me feel worse for teams like Italy that are the deck is so stacked against them.
Yeah, like
these are the best hockey teams ever assembled.
Yeah,
and they
like,
don't have
just full lines of generational players, and then Italy's like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then people are getting blown out. Like, what were the 11 to fucking whatever?
Yeah.
11 to nothing.
Like out shooting teams like 50-10.
Yeah,
like,
it's not really fair. It probably is. I didn't really pay attention to it, but it had to be kind of like the Dream Team era of like Olympic basketball, where it was just like, this is really not fair. But
yeah, I did see a thing that was explaining how Olympic hockey this year is the most like parity that's ever been in any kind of pro Olympic sports, just because so many other countries have players in the NHL, where it's like NBA is kind of getting there now, where it's like it's kind of a world game, but it seems like every single team in the hockey tournament is like, whoa, we have 80% of our team is NHL players versus 10 years ago when it was 5% or something. But
yeah, I didn't realize that the NHL hadn't been involved in so many years. Like,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, like, that's been the big story. I'm like, I didn't even notice. Like, that, I mean, granted, that's how much I pay attention to the Olympics, but
yeah, 2 weeks in February every 4 years, you kind of
what
happened?
You know, you fuck up Crosby's leg, I'll pay attention. You sons of bitches.
Don't hurt our aging kid.
He's only got a couple more years. Can't take him out on this bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is kind of ironic because like NBC's making a big push to like get a younger audience and get people involved. So that's why they brought in skateboarding to the Summer Olympics, which is going to be interesting considering that's going to be in Los Angeles. It's also a backfire for America for like bringing in these sports and making up sports so we can be competitive, because Japan, at least in skateboarding, is just mopping the floor with us. And like other countries, it's like, yeah, they've been doing it too, man. Like you're not going to just have like a free reign to win all gold just because you think like America did invent skateboarding, but that doesn't mean shit anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you look at, it's kind of weird to think about how that is kind of like, why do they bring that in? Like, why do they bring in these sports like that? Is it just because they're like, oh, we can get a bigger market of people to watch? Like, because if that's the case, like esports is going to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's not far off. It's really not.
I won the gold in Fortnite.
Now,
fuck you, Dad. I'm not taking out the trash. I won the gold in Fortnite.
I don't know that any country could compete with our production of incels. So we might.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not a big e-gamer, but like I'd be interested. I wouldn't watch, but I'd be interested to see the podium. The podium on that, they have to have a ramp up to it because it's just all these fucking chair-riddled youths.
Just the Olympic podium's a bunch of couches.
It's Olympics brought to you by Proactive.
It does kind of feel like it's turning into like ESPN 8 at points, just because of like, oh, really? That's a sport? And
yeah,
that's kind of a new sport. Like,
well,
that's not.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool. You brought in skateboarding, you brought in snowboarding, but like a lot of like the legacy sports, like how many youths are really involved with a lot of these things anymore? Where it's just like, I mean. Like I didn't even realize. I think they took the javelin away. That's been gone for like a long time because it's like dangerous, supposedly. And I might be talking out of my. I'm definitely talking out of my ass.
Wait a second, throwing spears into an open field?
Yeah, but like shot put and like what kids are being like, But I mean, like if you get focused in early enough and you're just like, this is gonna be my thing. Yeah. And by the time I turn 18, I'm gonna be an Olympic athlete. And I'm like, all right, because like. You could try with skateboarding, but the competition is crazy. Like, not to get off on a tangent about that, but like Arisa True's like, I don't know, 14 maybe, and she's Australian, and no one's fucking close. Like she's like, speaking of generational athletes, like not to call skateboarders athletes, but she's a generational talent for sure. Doing 900s already in her youth as a it's crazy.
Dude, that was the weird thing. Is like, I watched Big Air snowboarding, and it was like, I can't even remember what the rotations they were doing, but I remember when 1080s were like, oh my god, he did a 1080, and that's like a warm up. That's not even a thing really anymore.
Yeah, and snowboarding for sure. I mean, it's a big deal still in skating, but it's like they throw them out like way more frequently, and and meanwhile, like there's just been some like seemingly more basic tricks that are just like technically harder that have just gone by the wayside, like just no-handed spins. Like I think it was like a front or a. I forget what it was, but Jimmy Wilkins just did one for the first time. It was like a no-handed frontside 540 or I don't know, it couldn't have been a whatever it was, but it's just like it's just stuff that like I would have assumed that got handled like years ago, but it's just like it's just so hard to do physically without a grab or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's odd little tangent.
Yeah, it's just a Olympics are always that weird time of like, oh wow, I'm kind of into this for this small amount of time.
Yeah, but like,
and then it's over.
I haven't been able to watch a single hockey game because like literally the gold medal game's tomorrow at 5 a.m. on NBC, which I'm like, I don't have like I think you could probably stream it. Like they got to figure that shit out. Like that like
they do play everything on like delay, and they'll have it like they have their kind of primetime recap, which is like condensed versions of everything, but. You could also just watch it on YouTube. Like, there's no reason to watch a condensed version.
Yeah, true. But they have been like, and we dealt with this like when because Vans had athletes that were in the Olympics, and just like they are so buttoned up with like what you're allowed to use, how you're allowed, the phrasing, the verbiage, just like the Olympic Committee is so anal about, because like you're not allowed to say go for the gold, you can't mention rings, like
you can't have a helmet honoring fallen victims of a illegal war for your country.
You can't be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like with the world's largest podium, ostensibly. But like, I don't know. It's the fact that the Olympics is still even going on, like, and people are paying attention, I guess, is a testament to the franchise, or the organization. But also, it's just like they're kind of like NHL adjacent, where it's just they're doing they're shooting themselves in the foot so much by like not being able, like Spittin' Chicklets and the biggest hockey podcast in the world, they just have to rely on whatever like cleared imagery they're allowed to repost, so it's just still images. Meanwhile, like I've seen 2 clips of a hockey game on Instagram, and it's just because that's how like everyone's just like, I'm not getting sued for this, like but like it's also like same with skateboarding, like stuff's going down, and if you're not watching it live, it's gone like for weeks, and then it's like you're missing out, like the technology's surpassed the platform, and you're not keeping up or given any kind of wiggle room for like I would love, like I can't watch hockey games, and probably not going to wake up at 5 a.m. to watch the gold medal game. I'll watch it later, whatever, but like it'd be better if I could be like, oh, at least I'm getting live updates, and like these people are already like replaying the goals and whatever.
I think the key is you just gotta cut yourself off from social media or the internet.
I can't. I just can't.
That's been the nice part about like things like that, because I do that with most sports game, like any like football or basketball game that I'm watching. That like I don't want to sit and watch the same goddamn Uber Eats commercial 17 times every 15 minutes. So I have YouTube TV where I'll just like let it record, and then I can fast forward through it all and just black myself out from anything online where I'm like, I'm not going to pay attention to anything. It's like taping back in the day when you'd run around and scream like, "Don't tell me the score!
Don't tell me
I'm
anything.
taping it.
I haven't watched it yet," and then it gets spoiled. Remember spoilers?
Yeah.
Now everything's everything's a spoiler.
Yeah, everything's spoiled.
We're spoiled, and we're there's the metaphor. Let's expand on that.
See you next time.
Now, that really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but the one thing about like the Olympics that is kind of like, it kind of reinforces where you're like, I don't want to cheer for America, but like you see how hyped somebody gets for winning, and you're like, oh yeah, they've been training their entire life for this one moment, and like aside from Eminem playing in the background during this type of thing, but it is pretty impressive to be like, oh, that person is losing their mind because they're so psyched.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome to see, regardless of the country, where you're like, I don't want to see America's medal count. I feel like that's kind of gaudy at this point anyway. But
yeah, women's hockey, I would like, that's pretty rad. Like, but because they're marginalized, so it's sort of like an extra win. So you're not really rooting for the country as much as like them specifically, and like being kind of an underdog sport, like I've been
cheering for Michigan way more than the United States at all.
Yeah, you can get real specific about it, so you're not be like, all right, yeah, fuck
Real
Trump,
niche.
but also Michigan, pretty cool.
Yeah. Trump called this guy a loser. Yeah, I'm a fan. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, that was another bad one where you're like the amount of bootlicking from the Panthers when they went to the White House, like them all cosplaying, dressing up like him.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I like was kind of ambivalent. Like I was kind of starting to like Marshawn, and then they went and did that shit, and I'm like, no, fuck them all. They're
yeah, it's like I don't see why more people don't like. Yeah, we'll go to the White House, and we're gonna make fun of you the entire fucking time. Like, what are they gonna say? You can't come in. All right, I didn't want to be here anyway. Like.
Yeah, or just sit it out. That too. Like Tim Thomas did it as for the Tea Party, and like do it for the right reasons. Now you have every opportunity, and I'm not aware of anybody on the Panthers that did I'll take that chance and be like, you know what? I'm good. I can get McDonald's at home. That piece of shit.
It's just this weird kind of overlap where this kind of ceremony of these things where people are like, well, I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to go to the White House again, so I'll take that. And you're like, you have to step away from that because
you also did it last year.
it's literally a fucking Nazi running the thing. So
Yeah.
you're like,
History will remember.
I get it's a huge honor, and it's something
In
that
theory.
you would never get to do again unless you won another championship. But it's like, I don't know. Nowadays, you would think people with a conscience would be like, I can't align with that.
But that is something that we not separating the art from the artist or anything, but just like, hockey players, especially NHL level hockey players, are probably so far removed from the average person, and just like they've been training for this, this sport their entire life, and they have arrested development because they haven't had to live really in the real world. I mean, they're probably, them and baseball players seem to be the most grounded of professional athletes as far as in general, but like all the same, it's
basketball's up there just because they're so rich that they don't have consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm going to say whatever I want to say because it doesn't matter to me.
But like basketball players, they stick out. Like baseball and hockey players, like they could be in a bar, and unless somebody pointed them out, most people wouldn't know. Basketball, football players, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So like they're kind of more insulated and alienated from the average person than NHL or and MLB.
Yeah.
In theory, I might be wrong. I'm often.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a trope. I guess you see a 7-foot tall dude at a bar versus a 5'8" guy at the bar, and you don't know who either of them are.
But you assume.
Yeah, you're definitely going to do the grandpa thing. But you play basketball?
That just reminded me when I was working at the bar. There was a local comic who was, I forget how tall. He had to be 6'6" at least. Giant dude. He coached volleyball, played volleyball as well. Meanwhile, there was also a little person in the same part of the bar. And I was like, Marty, we've got like one of the tallest people alive and one of the shortest people alive. Can we get a photo of you on his shoulders? Jeez, he was not down.
Rightfully so.
He did not want to approach a stranger with an odd photo op opportunity.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But props to Marty. He's now coaching Stanford volleyball. So,
damn.
Yeah, Chicago came out west. I don't know exactly what, but he's teaching out here, coaching volleyball, and now he's coaching for Stanford. So he might be in the Olympics for all we coming up.
That ain't bad.
Speaking of Sparks, how's he? He coaching rugby?
Yeah, he was a GM for Major League Rugby. I'm not sure exactly what he's at now, but yeah, he coached at University of Michigan, and like he made me a bet in high school that he would be coaching football at the University of Clemson by the time he was like 28 or something, and I was like, okay, I'll take that bet. And he was coaching Division I sports by that time. And I had to be like, well, it's not Clemson. So
how much was the bet?
Yeah.
All right, close enough. It was over nothing? All right, close enough.
But it was weird how accurate. Like, that always blows my mind when people are like, this is my goal. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I do that. And then I realize how much work or like how hard it's going to be. And I'm like, I got to find a backup plan.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it sounds so ridiculous and you're like, what? Yeah, whatever. But like, I do admire that kind of positive visualization, I guess, or manifestation, because like I think I tried that so many times, like just skateboarding and be like, I got this one, and then like I don't know if it's subconscious, like sandbagging or like what, where I'm just like, well, there wasn't that one.
Yeah.
Keep trying, like maybe this isn't for me. I'm just like
I think it also depends on like your inner monologue, like how you motivate and discipline yourself. Like when I get close to doing something, there's a voice in the back of my head that's like, you're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
Where I think people like Sparks and like Olympic athletes are probably like, you can do this, you know what this takes, you can do this. And my inner monologue's a little bastard who just
just cut you down and hold you back.
Go home, they're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, is it even worth it? Like,
You
What is?
You
Fucking
should be
do
watching
it.
the Simpsons reruns.
Yeah. Drew, I have a friend who like he's the opposite of me, where he's like, I think he tells himself he's gonna do it and he does it, and if somebody tells him he can't do it or he's not gonna, he just like it turns it on and just immediately he's just like I thought it was just with skating, but like I've seen him do it with pool and golf, and I'm like, what a cool attribute to have. Like how I wish I would have been able to nourish that a little bit more. And we're like, no, can't. All right, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Show you. Not. Hey, we all get there how we get there.
I guess that's why we're not Olympic athletes.
I guess not, or professional anything really.
Maybe 4 years from now, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a professional. I don't know. We're gonna have 100,000 subscribing podcasters here.
I feel like we both got the body type for curling, so.
Curling, yeah, we can start now. I can do my finger, my Canadian finger. Like, how angry that dude. I mean, he must have known. Like, it's that clip of the Canadian curlsman.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah, they were like, Sweden called him out for you're not allowed to like touch the curling, the disc or whatever,
the rock or whatever.
And Sweden was like, you touched it at the end. It was like full of Big Lebowski, like over the line.
Yeah.
And the dude's like, the Canadian who had done it, he was like, he cursed him out. Like, it was like a cool clip, not very Olympic, but like the dude was like adamant. He was like, fuck off, I didn't touch it. Like, get out of here. And then
just
like
barley.
And then just like the video is like very clearly just like just giving it a
fake
little
news. That didn't happen.
Yeah, so I don't know that anything came from it, but it was an interesting and fun back and forth where the memes delivered. The what's the Sistine Chapel finger with the curling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of like the cool thing, seeing about how norms kind of changes. Like, the generation we grew up with is now the people in charge, which is
terrifying.
It's kind of terrifying.
And it'll happen to you.
But it also helps like frame things where you're like, why are we like this? Like, yeah, we can do this. Like, just kind of approaching things as like, we grew up with like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
So don't tell me you have a moral high ground to kind of tell me what to do.
Yeah, like the amount of people, I forget there was something a while ago where people were just like, this is so offensive and I can't believe this country's come to this. And I'm like, we grew up on South Park. Like, we grew up on like some of the most vile and rude and like
hilarious,
amazing, like comedy and like cartoons and just like irreverence. And for you to like grow up to clutch your pearls is a little like get the fuck out of here. Like,
well, I also like
and like seeing people our age like bitch about like kids. I'm like, they're just being kids is what they do. Like every time like you start to get angry about like these kids on their e-bikes and whatever, and you're like, we were doing this like it was us on skateboards when we were their age. Like just like it can be annoying and you can be annoyed about it, but just remember you were doing it too. So
yeah,
it's their job.
I did that a couple weeks ago on my bike ride. Like a little kid on a bike wasn't paying attention and just turned or did a U-turn in the middle of the bike path, and I almost took her out. But my immediate reaction was like, man, what the fuck? And then I had to remind myself, like, she's a kid. You did that shit constantly. So you kind of have to you have to put it in context of like, oh yeah, this is normal behavior from a child. You can't expect them to know exactly what they're doing or have. Yeah,
if the youth are all quiet and well behaved, then we're fucked. Like we gotta have a little upstarts, or when shit goes sideways down the line, there's not gonna be anybody to speak up. So keep riding those e-bikes.
Yeah,
and keep piercing your gums at 16 and winning gold medals.
Yeah, get raccoon hair. Fucking awesome.
Raccoon, broccoli, just the whole the whole gamut. But I don't know. Us running things. That's Kid Rock's he's right in line with the health advisor for the whole fucking country.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michigan.
Speaking of embarrassments, I don't like. Why does anybody give a shit about Kid Rock.
Yeah,
It seems like he's the only dude who showed up for the audition.
Well, like the celebrity class that are aligned with like this regime is so ridiculous. It's just like I mean the whole cabinet and all of Trump's people. It's just such a cartoonish assemblage of like the most ridiculous personalities. Like it seems like a parody, but it's reality because it's just like RFK is the head of the health department, and like Hegseth and like everybody. It's just like it, and then but the celebrities, it's like who are the like the loudest mouthpiece for conservatives? It's like Kevin Sorbo, fucking Rob Schneider, Kid Rock, who's the James Woods, and fucking John Voight. It's like like those guys. You know, talented, whatever. But they're old white rich men.
I don't think John Voight knows what planet he's on right now. So
yeah, which not to excuse him being an idiot, but
I feel like it's just kind of a result of like older people falling into this trap where somebody at the nursing home puts on Fox News because they need something in the background, and then just subconsciously they absorb it as like, well, the news is on. Like, that's not news. That is propaganda at best, but
and I mean, to not realize that now too is just but we all pick our own echo chambers,
because that happened with my grandpa, where super normal, kind of not liberal guy, but
working class,
was never really outspoken with like racism or anything, and then he just around 80 he started watching Fox News and his worldview kind of shifted, and I was like, the hell are you talking about?
That's also like kind of a trapping of being an old white living in like an isolated area where you're not really around anybody, and you're like, you just start being afraid of things that you don't see and you just hear about on the news, especially. It's like, I mean, the last time I was in Michigan, the amount of people that looked exactly like my dad or like what I'm gonna look like very soon, it's like, oh God! Like, of course you're all fucking racist. Like you all look inbred anyway.
Yeah, you got a winter that lasts 8 months. You don't see the sun. That's what happens.
But again, not excusing it. That's just something you got to be aware of. And when you start, if you start feeling those voices creep up, you got to be like, all right, it's time for try and find a trip. Let's go be around other types of people.
Yeah.
But the fucking video that they put out, like who is like, that's the problem with however successful you get in anything. You need to have people around you who are gonna tell you that you were doing whack, corny shit. Yeah. Because if RFK and Kid Rock were both like, we're gonna do a workout video.
Check this out.
Hear me out. Kid Rock's going to be on that weird fucking fan bicycle thing that no one has used in 30 years. I'm going to wear jeans into the cold plunge. I'm not getting in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
Like, also, finding out that RFK was a never nude, love it.
Makes a lot of sense.
There's dozens of them. But, like, and no one was like, Rob, you wanna put on some swim trunks? You want to put on a Speedo? Show what you're packing? No, fucking Kirkland denim. Let's go.
Yeah. It's just one of those things of like, if that came out of like a nursing home where you're like, man, old people are really weird. Like, my granddaughter's on TikTok. She does dances. So me and Fran did this. Like, that's what it kind of feels like. Of like, what is the goal of this video?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, we're going to get people healthy. Like, what part? Like,
look at these two viral young men. Viral and healthy.
If your goal is to get people healthy, and like who's going to be our representatives for getting healthy? We got a man who sounds like nails rubbing across gravel.
Sounds like a toilet flushing.
He sounds like a rusty bike thrown into a wood chipper.
Yeah.
And we have Kid Rock. Kid Rock, the beacon of health. Kid Rock.
You know, the guy who smokes cigarettes at church? That type of guy. Your uncle that drives a snowmobile everywhere and it makes it his entire identity? That type of person.
Yeah, and nobody was like, hey, you wanna hire some like peak athletes? Like Olympics are going on. We can get some like really just cut people, some really beautiful, like healthy individuals. Like,
Yeah.
no, we got this. RFK, Kid Rock, tap in.
And their entire team looks around the room kind of like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
What was Ferris Bueller's character in 30 Rock, where Burger?
Oh, yeah. Burger?
Yeah, like the whole staff has to just be a bunch of burgers where they're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure,
Sure.
yeah. You want to film this? You want to put it out? You want
All
the
right.
whole world to see this?
This isn't just for you? Oh, all right.
All right. First, how many cuts you want to do? Just one? All right, cool.
Got one. Cool.
How much is this going to cost? You know what? It doesn't matter. It's all
I mean, that kind of feeds into their whole thing of like, anyone who tells me no needs to leave. Like, that's why you see that whole, after that kind of tariff announcement from the Supreme Court, you see his hissy fit.
yeah.
Like, I've never seen an 80-year-old throw a tantrum. I can do this. I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to. My daddy said I can do this.
And again, like at least we're seeing some pushback. We're seeing like maybe hopefully it's a side that the tide is turning at least a little bit. But
Just had to take a couple thousand documents alleging him of having sex with 12-year-olds and threatening to murder them.
yeah, all it takes was him being implicated in just unthinkable horrors, evil crimes, and murder. Sexual assault, which we already have known, but to the degree that he's been implicated on now, you're like, that is otherworldly evil. But
it is pretty funny to watch the right kind of move the goalposts on this. Yeah, so there were 12. Like, whatever. That's not a... Oh, the yes men nature of the right and moving the goalposts into accepting what...
yeah.
Whatever happens. Like,
Or just the denial, just flat out denial. Just like, oh, it's all fake. And you're like, wasn't fake when it was a pizza shop in D.C., but okay.
yeah. It's like the boy who cried wolf finally saw the wolf and was like, I don't know what to do now. Made my whole life about this. My grandkids don't talk to me anymore, and I guess we'll just stay on board until the next terror. But
And plenty more coming down the pike. We can bet on that.
yeah, I like how people are kind of framing this as like, the walls are closing in. What happens next is going to be terrible. It's like basically going into like historical analysis of like when dictators get pushed against the wall, they lash out and do the most horrible shit. So we're like, cool. Looking forward to that.
Hasn't been bad enough.
But at least it's almost over, though.
Yeah. Well,
Knock on wood.
Always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just stay armed. However, whatever that means to you, with information.
It is definitely like exhausting. This entire year.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. When people, again, when when he got reelected, we were like, well, we've been through this before, and then like it's been like, oh, it's been just so aggressively worse. It's like if like somebody broke up and you're like, that was bad. You were with a real piece of shit, and then they came back and then they're like, I'm gonna be worse. And you're like, how?
It's like saying, I'm going to call out sick on Thursday, so on Monday and Tuesday I'm going to light the office on fire. And then I'm going to paint my office black.
And then I'm gonna whip my wiener out at everybody.
Yeah, they're going to be like, you should just stay home today. It's like, all right, fine. If you want to be unreasonable, I'll just stay home.
Oh, where do we go from there?
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. I don't really know.
I don't know either. And like it's I mean, I guess like it's all I guess it's all kind of the same thing. It's all irrelevant of people who are becoming more and more obsolete, like that are just clinging to any kind of relevance, and they're just forcing it. So they're just forcing themselves to be relevant by just brute force. And like Kid Rock hasn't been like, when's the last time we were really talking about Kid Rock?
I mean, outside of his association with Trump, probably 1999.
Yeah, seriously. And same thing, like Kevin Sorbo, I wouldn't know who that. I'm like, Hercules, 1990, mid 90s Hercules. Like, who gives a shit?
It's also these people that have, to an extent, failed. All right, like you didn't live up. You were on Hercules. You didn't make it to movies. Okay, but taking no kind of like, it's not my fault that this didn't happen.
Yeah,
like it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, none of these people are aspirational. Nobody was ever just like, these are my heroes. And then they're kind of just like, again, elbowing their way back into the spotlight by their association with fucking the worst, just a peer class of the worst, most ridiculous human beings. And
like the whole Nicki Minaj thing.
I don't even.
She like, I haven't really followed it. I just saw like the turn to be pro-Trump.
But and then she immediately turned back, right?
I don't think she's turned back because she, like, I heard, this is all speculation from what I've read on the internet, so who knows, but like she's facing, or her husband or somebody is facing like jail time. Nice. And everyone thinks is like, oh, this is convenient. You're buttering up to get a pardon. Like, I don't know how kind of substantiated that is.
But also, what a cartoonish line of thought where like, my husband's going to jail. I'm going to be pro the president.
But
and
like,
it could work.
It's going to ruin your career. Like,
hopefully.
You've seen like all these people turn on her. And again, I don't know all the details.
I feel like she came out as like super aggressively anti-ICE, and then people were like kind of coming back to her, and I'm like, I don't care what she thinks about anything that takes any kind of thought. It's just a weird... No offense, Nicki Minaj, but you're not a scholar of, like... You know?
Yeah, it just seemed like a very odd thing to happen, and then you kind of read about it, and you're like, this kind of tracks. Like, you have some kind of charge hanging over somebody you love. You're like, all right, I gotta...
Yeah, so what? I wonder what's being promised across the board. But I mean, that's probably what.
But also, like, why would you trust him? Like, why would anybody trust him?
I couldn't tell you unless you're all like, unless it's like a game of like that Spider-Man meme where everybody, like, you have to trust each other because once one folds, everybody folds. So it's just like, you're just like quietly. Leveraging whatever you got on each other against everybody, and you're like, well, that's a cool way to exist, guys.
Yeah.
Like, not how I want to live, but they're making how I want to live kind of not possible anymore, so.
Yeah. The one kind of bright spot in this is, like, what comes after this? Because it seems like it's going to be a progressive utopia type of move of, like, we've seen what one side will do. And it sucks for everybody except them. So,
yeah, the downside would be a power vacuum where it's just like when you oust one dictator and somebody else slides in, and you would hope that we would have the faculties and the systems in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But
or just the collective memory of like, hey, Republicans put us in this situation,
right? But I don't have that optimism that would be the case, but just in terms of damage control, like making sure that whatever comes next isn't, it might not be the devil we know, but just again, always the lesser of two evils. How about a very far lesser evil? Or no evil. How about we try that out? I know that's an odd thing to say in front of a big banner of Satan, but how about not evil for a little while?
Just a different viewpoint.
By the like, he bad rap. This guy,
yeah.
Bad rap. He was just pro, free will.
I will say he was an angel.
At one point, was an angel, and his only crime, critical thinking,
speaking truth to power. That's
just
all.
Questioning authority, speaking truth to power, critical thinking, and pro woman. By the way, just getting in, trying to lift women up. But unfortunately, the religious class did blame the women, which. That's just what they do. So, I'm just saying.
The main thing is I want to go back to a world where I don't have to do homework on everything and everything. Like, I like this band. What are their political views? Do they think Palestine should be free. Like, I have to run through this checklist of people.
It's
like,
exhausting. We live in it, like, everything now, because everything's so visible and interconnected. Every choice, everything you say, it's so exhausting because you're inadvertently or purposefully aligning.
Let's just go full NASCAR and wear our causes on our jackets.
Yeah.
And we all have to wear them at all times.
Yeah,
And be like,
I don't know
this one.
was it Carlin or Hicks or whoever had he's like, or maybe it was Robin Williams. He's like, all politicians should wear a NASCAR jacket just so we know who owns them. It's like, yeah, and that's kind of where I don't know. Remember when you were like a kid and you started like buying your own clothes and you're like, I'm going to wear a Nike sweatshirt. And you're like, at least in the 90s, the vibe was like, you're going to pay $30 to advertise for that company.
Yeah.
And like that is just gone now.
That was my mom's kind of move of like, these are the exact same sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And you just want to buy this one.
And that's the mentality
You're getting champion.
which wasn't cool at the time. It was
No.
Kmart, dog shit brand.
Yeah.
It was right next to the Dickies that you could stand up on their own because they were so stiff.
Yeah.
Which, when did pants get so soft, you sons of bitches? But yeah, and like, but now like, that's how that's a weird place we've arrived to, where all of our purchases are indicative of our identity and our political and social and moral leanings, where it's just like, man, I want to get back to what you're talking about, where I'm like, I don't want to think about everything I have to do. I don't want to buy a beer and know that they fucking helped write the Project 2025 and fund it. Like, fuck Coors, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm like, God, Coors has a long history, and maybe we should do a deep dive onto just the evils of the Coors Corporation. But like, I
think it all kind of boils down to is like, capitalism as a practice is rife with fraud, and because that's the whole point of it, is to get as much as possible.
Yeah,
so.
and like there's like a healthy middle ground where it's like competition is good, making a better product is good, having a good workforce is like, all these things are great, and then you like get too successful, and then the greed,
because you have to keep feeding.
Yeah, and like that is that like American growth model. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but like, oddly enough, Sean, not an expert, but like that does, like, it's always that growth model that it's just this cycle of like, you build too tall and you don't have the base to keep it, from swaying in the storm, and like, and inevitably the storm's coming, and then somehow the only people at the top with a parachute or a helicopter, are the people at the top, and then everybody else is just left to scatter.
I think it also touches on what we were talking about last week, was like the kind of idea of that billionaires think that only they can fix it. So like, if you're in a situation where you believe I'm the only right one here, and you have so much power where people can't talk to you honestly, to be like, that's a bad idea. And then you're using your success as a billionaire to be like, well, I'm a billionaire. So
it is a god complex, like, because they just can't be questioned after a certain point. Or you're like, well, that isn't healthy.
Like, everyone talks about, we should have mandatory military service for our teenagers, so you can kind of get that understanding basis. I think everyone should have to only survive on $7 for a month, and be like, this is all you get, and you have to figure out how to do this. Yeah,
how about before you can graduate college, you have to do a week or several weeks of just every different kind of work, where you're like, I'm a maid, I'm a gas station worker, I'm a fast food employee, I'm a military, maybe not cop, but like, at least give you a little bit of like, it'll give you a little, hey, I don't want to do this my whole life. Maybe I do want to do this my whole life. Hey, this is a hidden talent I didn't even know I had. This is really cool.
I mean, that's the whole weird thing about college, is like, you have to go to college. Like, well, what do I do at college? And like, you have to figure it out there in your first year.
Yeah, but also that's going to be incredibly expensive, and we're going to saddle you with an amount of debt that you're going to be like, well, do I just quit and call it a loss at however much I've already invested, or just see it through and get a psychology degree I'll never use?
Yeah, I did that with like the whole sunk cost fallacy, where I had a bunch of friends that were dropping out of my very expensive art school. And they're like, well, I just can't go into debt like this. And I was like, well, I've already done 2 years here.
I'm already in for $100,000.
So if I do that, and then later I talked to all those people, and they're like, oh no, I just tell people I graduated from that college. I was like, I should have done that.
I didn't know you could just lie.
No one checks.
I went there. I have proof I went there.
Yeah, I was enrolled there. You're not going to check to see if I actually graduated.
Oh, you want to see my transcript?
Also, who cares if you graduated? That shows kind of
Good.
more reckless spending than you're capable of.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
poor decision making. You
Yeah.
stuck with it.
Wow.
You should know when to quit, bud.
you gotta know when to fold them, bud.
That's another. I actually just speaking of here's a little vignette into how college works out. I'm a college graduate. I've been working basically in my field for 15 years. I need money so bad. I'm on TaskRabbit, and I got to go pick up a e-bike from a college student and then drive it to a different location for $22. So that's what your college future looks like. Just so
Yeah.
you know. I don't know. Maybe you went into finance. You'll probably have a better run than a liberal arts
Maybe
degree.
you went into exploiting people for a living.
Yeah, you're already broken. You're just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, wanting money is not a bad thing, but like, being a little discerning about
I think
the
it's
ways
more
you
like
get it.
wanting comfort of like
Yeah.
you want to be able to afford things and do things where like I don't understand why a billionaire would want more money. Like
It's another drop in a fucking
you want
Olympic
influence
side
and power.
suite.
Why? You're a billionaire. Like you can do anything you want.
Yeah, because
But
they're
you want to control people?
they're mentally ill, broken people, and enough is never enough. They don't hit it.
parasites.
They don't ever make enough money where they're just like, all right, I'm gonna go to an island and retire. They go to the island and then try to buy the entire island, and
Fill it with children that they can fuck.
ooh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that has happened.
Yeah.
that was another startling realization. Is like, that was one island, and that market or whatever these cretins the urges that they have, and the system that was able to farm and traffic all these people to this island, that didn't just go away just because
Yeah.
one guy. There wasn't only one guy doing
Yeah.
it. So like, where are the other islands, and who's being quiet about them? And let's get their head in a fucking guillotine
Yeah.
pronto. Get them talking so they can not Epstein themselves.
I like how the royal family was like, oh no, we kicked out was it Prince Philip? Like, oh we kicked him out to a massive mansion in the country.
Oh no, we've shunned him to a life of comfort and leisure
Yeah.
and isolation. Like, yeah, well, how about a real rapey prison? How about that?
Yeah.
Send him there.
I think that's probably his next stop, but
Here's hoping. Justice served.
yeah. It's got to come at some point. Because I know it's not going to happen here for a while, but there's going to be trials.
And if the system fails, then the people got to step in, because
Yeah.
we gotta. There's no justice, it's just us, and whatever other bumper sticker I can steal an expression off of. But for real, like, can you imagine like just the national catharsis of just like having it like a couple of the heads roll, just be like, At least we got them. Like that's why Luigi, I feel like that's why Luigi was such a hit, was like, finally someone did something.
Yeah. There's repercussions for people that
Yeah.
act like this.
And whether, that CEO was the right symbol or whatever, like deserved it, quote unquote, like, I don't know, but like
He was.
it's a symbolic move to do that kind of thing and take somebody in that class out. And he proved it can be done. So
Yeah.
so
It's kind of like
and they started, weren't they like? I feel like there were a couple like, at least one. There was like a copycat type thing where somebody was getting targeted, and then they spun it in the news where it was like, he was on the wrong. He got off on the wrong elevator floor. And you're like, well, that's a coincidence. Maybe if I had my facts straight and I could reference the actual story and details, but why do that?
Yeah, I don't think we need to kind of poke holes in this situation where a dude who made a living out of denying people medical care for the thing that they paid
Not even
for.
a living, an incredibly lucrative living off of an industry that screws, like, the whole idea of insurance is you're going to be there when people need you, and then more often than not, you're not. You're not
They
there.
force you to pay for nothing.
Yeah, we have to pay
To
into
stay alive.
we have to pay into a fucking bingo game, and when it's our time to pull the ball, it's just hoping that it says yes, and you know how many times does it not? So anyway, so yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Free Luigi, fuck that guy.
Luigi was right.
Free Palestine, and fuck us. As always, and go Birds.
Yeah.
Go Wings.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like
Do you still have like the grudges for other teams? Because I guess I was never like that ingrained, but the Penguins have been so like they haven't really had a division rival exactly for.
yeah, it's I don't know. Everything like that has kind of shifted.
Yeah. Oh, now I can.
Because of recent events.
Yeah. Oddly, I don't care as much about those things anymore.
Yeah.
The Flyers are fine.
Like an Ohio State fan who says "fuck ice," I'm like, all right, we can
All right.
we can sit down and talk.
Comrade.
Yeah, same page. But
Fuck the Buckeyes, but also
it is kind of weird how that. I wonder if that's like an American thing where it's like we kind of pick our teams and then we use them to kind of get through life of like, this is who I am, that's who you are, and then like it just shifts to another team where you're like right versus left.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that kind of tribalism where it's always just like you just get insulated with the people that like these are my people, those are those people, fuck those people. But see where that's gotten us? If you just blindly align to one side or another or one organization or religion or whatever, where does that get you?
Yeah.
Fucking zealot, blind, leading the blind. So
do your research.
yeah, because we're not gonna. So you should do it
Absolutely not.
yourself. Never.
We refuse.
I'm illiterate. I
Yeah.
ain't never read no book.
Shit.
But yeah, I don't know. It's about time. Looking this light. Look at got the tire in the background.
This double camera move is
Yeah,
does it feel like a full on production here?
yeah. We got fuck one more. Did I buy a third one? I don't know. We got 3 cameras, one on each of us.
Shit.
Just get really right into it. Get a GoPro.
Yeah.
All right. Whooped. 2 weeks in a row. If we get a third, that's was that a turkey?
Yeah. We're on a streak.
Yeah. Well, we might have a topic for next week. You think
Maybe.
about. Well, we'll chat.
Be a lot of touching on the same kind of topics, but
Yeah, we're until the heads roll, we're gonna be at least talking about it and trying to get somebody.
we'll be here getting ourselves put on lists.
Yeah, we're gonna get locked up with zip ties and no
That's
time.
the one thing is I think that was our first one back where I was like, oh man, I wonder, like 80% of the country is saying this.
Yeah,
They can't arrest us all.
I don't know, but not 80% of the country isn't getting 43 views, Sean.
That's
So-
true. That is very true.
So
Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rodney. Just name them all individually. No, but for real. No, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you have been, and yeah, we'll check you next week or sometime in the future
Yeah, at a later date.
at a time to be determined.
Cheers.
Cheers.